Hey everybody, it's a situational therapist and I'm a pirate today. A lot of people get stuck in this situation when they're in a relationship and they don't know when to leave. And I haven't really said anything about what to do in those situations because part of the problem is some people were just waiting for somebody to give them permission to leave their relationship. Some people really need to just hear, it's okay for you to leave, right? But the reason that people don't leave abusive relationships is partly because they don't define them as abusive. And they spend so much time looking at what's going right that they don't feel and pay attention to what is going terribly wrong. And so looking for an apartment has been a lot like an experience of looking for a partner. The first thing I had to ask myself is, well, why is it that you're looking for a new apartment? And that came to me in a realization when I realized I just wasn't sleeping well. I was waking up in my house and I wasn't necessarily happy. And I knew I shouldn't be exuberant, but it just felt draining, to wake up. And I was like, well, maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something that's going on. And I sat down and I meditated and I thought to myself, what is going on? And I meditate with my eyes open. And when I started doing that, I realized bro, I hate what the fuck I see. This isn't a bad apartment. It's really not. It's not a bad apartment at all. It keeps me warm. I have a place to cook. I have a place to lay my head. I have entertainment. There are times where I really enjoy being in this apartment. I really do. I'm very thankful. It's much better than being out on the street. If the comparison is between being out on the street and being in this apartment, then yeah, this apartment is awesome. But at the same time, I hate this carpet. Every time I go take a shower, I have to stand in at least 2 to 3 gallons of water because my tub doesn't drain. My shower is missing the outside of it because if you remember one of my earlier videos, the glass broke and that still hasn't been fixed. I have 0 counter space in the kitchen, none. I thought that I was tired of cooking food. Man, I'm tired of cooking in this kitchen. And so the reason that I want an apartment is because I feel like I deserve something better. I do. I work my ass off Monday through Friday, busting my ass, carrying all the emotional traumas and labors of the people around me, processing them, and then doing things to make sure that I am okay after receiving all of that trauma. I work hard and I can afford and deserve something better. So that's the first reason. And so when you're in a relationship, sometimes you need to be able to conceptualize that you just deserve better. You deserve better than what you have. And if all you know is crap, if you had a bad relationship with your parents, if you had parents who screamed at you or who punished you for things and expected the punishment to do the teaching because they didn't know how to teach, then you might find yourself in situations with people who are just like your parents and you think it's normal because no one ever told you it was okay. You have to decide for yourself, but no one ever tells you that it's okay. So I know that I deserve better. Not because I'm comparing myself to anyone else, but because I work hard. And now that I've been on my own, I know that it's okay for me to have better. The second part of this was I needed to go look at some apartments. And I always thought that I wanted a high-rise apartment that overlooked the water. I always thought that's what I wanted. And so I took a trip to go view some of these apartments. And as I was going up, the first apartment I looked at was on the 13th floor. Besides not liking the number 13, it really was a nice apartment. It was in the middle of downtown Seattle, right near the waterfront, right near Pike's Place Market, which doesn't matter because I won't be visiting it anytime soon, but it was really nice. But when I stood in that apartment, all I could think about was that closet space is so big, I could put my bed in the closet and then use my bedroom as a second room. It was such a weird thought. It's that's how you know I'm poor. But then, as I stood in there, I started thinking well, what if there was a zombie apocalypse? How would I get down those stairs? What if a plane crashed into the building? Or what if? And normally what I would do before I exited my abusive relationship, I would say, well, man, this is just my anxiety. This is just me being worried. This is just me overthinking. But now I know that when I start thinking like that, it's because I'm in a situation where I don't feel comfortable. And so in that moment, I can use cognitive behavioral therapy and convince myself and calm myself down. But in the context of me being in a place that is in the future going to be my home, why am I feeling like that? The truth of the matter is either I'm just anxious or I'm really uncomfortable there and I don't want to be there. So many people come to me telling me about how they can't sleep at night, telling me how they have these random pains, telling me about how they are depressed and they have these burdens on their life and there's just something in their life. If I felt that way in that apartment and I'm just visiting, how the hell am I gonna feel once I put a ring on? Oops. How in the hell am I gonna feel once I live there? But if you don't know how to listen to your emotions, if you don't know how to listen to how you feel, you kind of just make decisions in the moment. So after I did the 13th floor, I went on up to the 26th floor. Anxiety got even worse. Went on up to the 28th floor. I still didn't like it. And so as I stood there thinking about this, I realized, bro, you don't want to live in a high-rise apartment. You just want to feel like you've made it. You just want to feel like you've made it. You just want to feel like you've come somewhere. You just want to have something to show for it. But I don't got shit to prove. It's not about showing stuff. It's about being comfortable in my motherfucking house. Sometimes people get in relationships so they can have something really pretty to show off. Those apartments are expensive because it gets you away from all the colored people, all the homeless people, all the folks. You're up in the sky. But when I came down from that high of I deserve it, this is awesome, this is great, when I really allowed myself, I went back down to the 13th floor and stood in it again. And I just realized these apartments are ugly as shit. Nothing about them is nice. This is just apartment number 3 of the conveyor belt of the types of apartments that I could be in. And the truth of the matter is, if I was comparing that apartment to itself, I like the 13th floor. I love that apartment layout. But my problem was that I had yet never experienced what other apartments could be like. All I know was my apartment. And if I compare my apartment to that apartment, you're absolutely right. It's great, I should go for it. The point that I'm making is that this is a metaphor, and it is going to hit the person that it needs to hit. And you're gonna feel real anxious about it. You're gonna feel real anxious about it. You're gonna have a choice. You can either repress that anxiety and pretend like what you feel isn't true. Call it a disorder if you want to. Or you can acknowledge it. You can acknowledge it, and then you can think about what can you do for a plan. But getting an apartment is a lot like getting a partner. And people make the same mistakes when doing both. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Oh, I'm gonna wait. I don't even know what's out there. I'm not gonna make a decision from my scarcity. I'm not gonna make a decision because I don't know what else might be out there. This might be the best that I can get. I'm gonna make a decision from abundance. So many options to choose from. And after careful consideration, I have decided that you are the person that I wanna live in my entire life. I think I'm mixing my metaphors. Anyway, just casually drop that bomb on your lap today. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.